Hey, good morning. Sorry for the delay here. I was having some technical difficulties this morning, but we'll get started now. Looking at May corn, obviously an ugly day yesterday. Closed below everything, below the 5 day. Uh, Went down, tried to touch that 50% retracement of this whole move up. Okay, so this is the Fibonacci lines: 38%, 50, 62%. Got down just above that, made a low of 452, with the 50% retracement being 451 and 1/8. So that's an area to look for. Happens to match up with the 20-day moving average as well. That's sitting there right at 451 and a quarter. This looks really weak to me in the short term. We've tried to bounce in the overnight, got back above the 5 day, couldn't hold it. You're going to want to see this if you're bullish. Come out, take out this high of 459 right away, and then you'd have a chance to get back up into this range, 465, these highs up here. And if you do that, though, I think in the short term that would be a selling opportunity. I would not expect this to be able to get back up to this level or above it. Just too much damage done yesterday. So in the short term, the move is bearish, right? So I do expect still this summer. I think longer term into the summertime, we're going to be able to take out these highs. You just typically don't make your highs in March. Hasn't happened since 1999. But I do in the short term expect more weakness, and this trend line here would be a pretty convenient place for it to initially come down to. It just depends on how weak it wants to get as we go into March, April, May time frame, and a lot will probably have to do with that March crop intentions report at the end of the month. Okay, so short term, you take out this low 452. Take out a couple of these moving averages, work on down. It would make a lot of sense to come down here into this 446 range, to this trend line, to these moving averages, and then maybe you can get a bounce from there, and then maybe you do take another leg lower. Maybe you end up down in this range somewhere. It would not be surprising. This was some extra weakness because of this additional information with the war. That stuff's not going to go away, so we'll just see how weak they want to get here. But short term is bearish. See some separation down here, suggesting lingering downside momentum next 1 to 3 days, and that's what I would expect. Moving into soybeans, even worse here. Huge down day, limit down, lots of extra buying in there. The previous sessions, so it did make it almost down to the 50% retracement. Got to 1140. What was the low? 1145 and a quarter. 50% retracement was the 1145 level. Again, that low today, 1145 and a quarter, is going to be your support. If we can bounce out of this and get above the high at 1166 from the overnight, then the best I would expect is to get back up to this 1182 and 3/4 mark, which is the 5 day. So if we do get up to there, I would suspect that's a selling opportunity in the short term. I do not expect us to work back up into these areas here now in that time frame. I'd expect some more weakness. That's what this is suggesting. We're just around the 50 mid-range here on the RSI. So with that, you could see us bounce out of this. So it just depends on what oil does, I think. Depends on what the news coming out of the war is. But this was a lot of chart damage done yesterday. So initial areas here, the overnight high, 1166. If you're bullish still, you want to see that taken out quickly. Selling opportunity would be 1182 and 3/4 up to the 5 day. Support levels would be the overnight low of 1145 and a quarter, with the 50% mark being 1145. Next level to the downside would be the 62% retracement at 1122 and a half. So that would not surprise me if that took place in the short term here. So short term bearish, longer term into summer still bullish. Don't expect this problem with Iran or the oil situation to solve itself very quickly. We have disrupted supply chains, so oil is not just going to fall to pieces, in my opinion. I think that it's going to be a struggle for a little while, and you'll probably see it continue to slowly grind, which will impact these markets. So anyway, sorry for the delay. We will see how this goes today, but we'll talk soon. Thanks.